Hi, Stuart Bahn here, and this is the first in a series of videos on how to improvise on guitar. In this video, I want to just quickly talk about phrasing. Phrasing is an important approach to improvising, and I think the easiest way to demonstrate it is to first show improvising where there is a complete lack of attention to phrasing. So I'm going to show you two approaches. The first one borrowed from Scott Henderson. He did a great video sometime in the 90s, which I highly recommend. So here is, I'm going to play over an A7 backing track, which is just me doing this on, I've just done that into my loop pedal. I'm going to set that running, and I'm going to use mostly A minor pentatonic. So here is how not to improvise approach one. Okay, so what's wrong with that? Well, it sounds like a guy just wandering about the scale. It's not a great listening experience for the listener. There is no shape, there's no highs and lows, there's no pauses. It's just rambling. So that was approach one. Here's how not to improvise well, approach two. Okay, so what's wrong with that approach? Well, they were maybe better phrases, but they were very disjointed. The second phrase had not much to do with the first phrase, and it was just constantly switching. It basically sounded like a guy throwing out a load of licks that he happens to know, which is what it was. So that was approach two. Now we'll talk about a much better approach, which we'll call approach three. And what we're going to do here is play a simple musical idea. I'm going to choose this. And once we've played it once, we're going to reuse it and just try and keep that as our central idea. We can vary it, we can change the notes, we can change the rhythm a bit, but without straying too far from that original phrase. I'm going to put a bit of drive on here just to make it a bit clearer. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, so I think, hopefully you'll agree that that was a better listening experience than the first two approaches. There was something for the listener to follow, something for them to grab hold of. They can hear some kind of a story being developed. So if this is a new concept to you, then I highly recommend giving it a try. It doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, I would say it's better to keep things as simple as possible. Just get on an A backing track. You can either record yourself doing an A on a loop pedal, that's fine, or find an A blues backing track or a simple rock backing track. Just use A minor pentatonic shape 1 if that's all you know. If you know more shapes, maybe deliberately set yourself the task of playing in each. Add into your practice regime, maybe commit to 10 2-minute sessions if you know the one shape, or maybe divide that up between the 5 shapes. And I hope you found it useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you in part 2.